What is up, guys? It's Ryan from Christian Coasters, and back with another video. And today we're going to be reviewing Lightning Rod, the ground-up RMC wooden coaster at Dollywood. So before I start off with this review, I just want to state that this is completely unscripted, and I don't want it to be cookie cutter. I know we all have our different opinions, so that's why I'm doing a review. I'm not trying to rip off any other big coaster channel. I'm just trying to have fun, and if you guys are interested in hearing about my reviews, let me know if you want to hear more of these. So to start out with, I'm just going to give my basic expectations I had set for Lightning Rod. This is definitely the coaster that really made me want to go to Dollywood. Beforehand, I had only ridden one RMC twice, that's Steel Vengeance, 2 rides in the back row and 2 different days in the summer. So that's the ride I kind of had in mind to compare Lightning Rod with. One ride on Steel Vengeance was amazing. One was not very good in my opinion. But that is not going to be talked about in this video because we are only talking about Lightning Rod. That was just a comparison of expectations. So going into it, Steel Vengeance was my number 2 coaster, and Lightning Rod I was hoping would be up there, definitely top 5, because I've had many friends tell me that they found Lightning Rod to be better than Steel Vengeance, which I thought was kind of shocking at first until I rode it. So the first ride it gets on a Saturday morning, right when the park opens. Keep in mind, it's kind of busy for a Saturday, but I've seen much worse at parks. I think the longest we waited that day was about 45 minutes. But anyway, that's aside from the point. We wait about a half an hour and we ride our first ride back row. And to be honest with you, my first ride, I thought it was a pretty good coaster, don't get me wrong, but I thought it was really overhyped. However, as with any other coaster, you try and ride it as many times as possible, especially when they're hyped up that much. So later in the day, actually, before we go later in the day, I should mention that if you watch my vlog, Alex and Mark were with us, and Mark and Alex both said that that was the most tame ride they've ever had on Dollywood, on Lightning Rod, at Dollywood, duh, sorry, brain cramp. And they were telling us that it's usually way more intense on slower days, so for that to be a top 10 ride experience, that really dropped my jaw. So I was really excited to get more rides. However, we moved on. We didn't get back in line just then because we needed to get other credits while the lines were short-ish. So later on in the night, probably about 4, me and Evan ride Steel Vengeance, or Lightning Rod again. I'm sorry, guys. This is what happens when you unscript videos. We ride Lightning Rod again, and it moved up to our top 5. Like, it was pretty good, as good as Steel Vengeance, and that's when I started to notice something about the ride. You know, the first time you ride a coaster, it's kind of too fast to process, even the next few times. But one thing I noticed is that, with Steel Vengeance and any other coaster, most of the time they start out really intense or they have a great first half, and then maybe if they're good, they're still kind of intense towards the end of the ride, but they start gradually slowing down. Lightning Rod, however, no matter what speed it's running, continues to gain momentum as the ride goes. It is absolutely insane. And by the time you hit that quad down and last turnaround, your brain wants to explode by how intense it is. Like, you wish the ride could go longer, but your brain at the same time is saying, no way. No way, man. The very next day, we managed to ride this thing 10 times in a row between myself and Evan because it was a Sunday and it was station weights. And it was giving, if you remember, if you saw the day 3 of that trip, I was so lightheaded. It was absolutely insane. Like, it was so intense. There's not even inversions, but it's that intense. And as the more I rode it, the more the ride kept on, like, speeding up and becoming more intense. So after riding it 10 times in a row, I think I'm confident to say that it is definitely my new number 1 coaster. Beforehand, my top 5, and I always switch the orders because I love them all equally, but I had Maverick, Steel Vengeance, Kumba, Mystic Timbers, controversial one I know, but Banshee. Like, those were my top 5 beforehand, but Lightning Rod really just kind of took him out back and shot him. I mean, it was insane how intense it was. And also, there's an element I want to talk about in the ride that I really thought was interesting. And it's this, I'm going to pull up this POV here because it helps me describe the element to you guys, since I'm not really the best at verbal description. So after you take that drop, you take this nice outer bank turn, take a little dip, and then you go up to the right. And then there's this one element where it like whips you to the left. And what Alex told me is that if you sit in the left side and you lean left, like towards the left, it will feel like a 0G stall. So it almost feels like you're upside down when you lean left like that. And then as soon as the ride jerks you back towards the right, your head just goes, like, you know those feeling on coasters are super intense, where it makes your head kind of feel like a brain freeze, kind of? Where, like, you have to just close your eyes and just kind of, like, your forehead wrinkles. You know that feeling? I'm sure you know what it is. It's hard to describe. That's what I got with this coaster. The more and more I rode it. And each time I rode it, it just kept getting faster and faster, like I said. So that's a cool tip if you want to ride and experience it in a different way, I guess. I rode this 15 times in the 2 days I went to Dollywood. Once in the third row because we didn't want to wait for front row, and all 14 others in the very back seat. And I can tell you for sure that I personally prefer back seat easily. I think it's way faster, it delivers way more ejector air time, literally thigh crushing, which is a new experience for me. The only other coaster that crushes my thighs like that is Magnum XL200 at Cedar Point. However, that is a more painful way. This is a very fun way. Hurts a little bit, but if you tough it out, it's a really fun experience. And this is the second ever coaster that I've ever bought a t-shirt for, which is actually saying a lot because I'm a real penny pincher. So the only two coasters I've ever bought a t-shirt for was Fury 325 and now Lightning Rod. So yes, Lightning Rod, definitely get down to Dollywood and ride it. It is an insane experience. It's fast, it's intense, it's quick, it's done and over with real fast. If you're a fan of speed, intensity, and airtime, this is definitely your ride because this is the most intense ride I've ever been on, easily. Above Maverick, above Kumba, all of them. So intense. So if you like this review, I'm sorry if I stuttered a little bit. I did the best I could. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. And I'll catch you guys next time. Be sure to keep God number one. See ya.